Hi everyone. So in this video, let us see how we can infuse Operation Dashboard components into App Connect Enterprise, which is a integration server, and we can also deploy a message flow or into the integration server, and we can see how the Operation Dashboard helps you to trace your business flows. So with this, let us get into the platform. So I've already created an instance of API Connect, App Connect, and MQ, and also I've enabled the dashboard. So before we get into more details of dashboard, we have to have a message flows which needs to be deployed onto an App Connect Enterprise. So I'm opening the AceDemo. This is the place where we will deploy our message flows. We have to have a message flows for that. Let me show you the sample message flows. So in the simple message flow, this message flows exposes HTTP interface. JSON message can be posted to this flow, and that message will be put onto the MQ queue. Similarly, the message that you have put, or if you want to retrieve or get the message from the MQ, you can call another HTTP interface which will go and get that message from the MQ. So this particular message flow has MQ as well as web. I have used client binding. I'm not using the local one. It is a client, and I have IP address, MQ server, listener port, but this I have used it for the unit testing purposes. I've created a policy project which has the MQ connection policies, and it has all the information which I would want to override during the deployment of message flow. If you look at it, the queue manager host name is this, listener port is this, channel server name, from where I have received this information. As I told, I have a MQ server is already in place. Let me open up the MQ admin console. So in my MQ server, this is the queue manager name, queue name, server connection channel. So I've created all this information. So server connection channel, queue manager name, but where do we get this queue manager host name and the listener port? Because we knew that this is running inside a container. Can we do that? So in the IBM Cloud Private, if you have a ICP console, go to the Helm release. If you know the release name, you can filter it. This is the instance of my MQ. Click on the MQ release. Scroll down. You can see the 1414 is the port which is listening inside the container, and to an external world that is 131451, and it has been exposed as a node port. Okay, so and in my case, this is the name of the node. It's a proxy node, and the listener port is 3141. So we have queue manager name, host name, port, and the channel name. So with this, we can very well override the connection information that is provided in the message flow in the MQ input node and output node. So I have already generated the bar file. So let us make use of the bar file. Okay, so from the operational dashboard, we will use the add server. The moment you click on the add server, it will ask you for the bar file. So let me get that bar file first. So I've generated the bar file, and I'm using one Windows machine to do the development of message flow. This is the generated bar file. So if you look at the time, it's just 3 minutes before, and I've already copied that bar file into my documents. So let me go back to the integration server. So let me add a server. Into my documents, I have the bar file. Opening it up, say continue. Oh my god. So I reached to the same point where we failed. So I picked up the bar file and say continue. It will give you the content server URL. Copy it, and you also download this configuration package. So download the configuration package. Save this, and copy the content URL. Say configure release. It will take you to the Helm release of a server. And I suggest you ensure you have all the prerequisites in place. So before we lose the content server URL, let us paste that. This is the content server URL that we copied from there. And Proxy IP Node. How do we get it? We'll say get route -n cube system. So I would prefer the ICP proxy node. Let's go above. So my AceDemo let me choose Ace as the namespace, and cluster is the local cluster. Specify the license agreement. Come down and say I'm not using it in production, so I'm unchecking it. This is a key place. I'm using MQ node, but I'm using it in the client binding. So I want App Connect Enterprise with MQ client. So I don't have any designer flows. Image pull secret. OC get secret will have my image pull secret. I'm using that. I'm leaving it to default, not port. No integration server name, otherwise it will take release name. We can ignore this because anyway without MQ deployment you can leave it to the defaults. Queue manager name you don't require. Enable persistence, yes if you want, but we don't have anything to persist in this case because it just gets the message and push it into the MQ. If we need to persist the flow, then if you need to persist, if you require persistence, then you need to use. So I don't have any requirement for enable persistence. I'm just unchecking it, leaving it to the defaults, unchecking enable metrics because I don't have much infrastructure. And here comes the most wanted one, enable operation dashboard, and tracing is the namespace. Okay. Tracing is the namespace where this operation dashboard is running. Along with the integration server container, it will infuse two more containers. One is operational dashboard agent and operational dashboard collector. These two components will help us to pull out the required information and push it into the operational dashboard. So let us revisit the Helm release properties once. So I've enabled operation dashboard, readiness, liveness, I left it. I unchecked enable metrics, and data persistence I don't need anything now. I unchecked enable persistence and dynamic provisioning. Initialize MQ, I just left it to default. Anyway, we are not going to use any MQ inside this integration server because we decided to go with App Connect Enterprise with MQ client only. And I left the service type to node port, image pull secret, and yeah, we are good to go. And please ensure you are unchecking the production usage if you are doing it in a development or for demo purposes. Content server URL. Let me go and click the install. Okay, installation started. For progress, view your Helm release. So before that, let's go back. I'll see project project ACE is the namespace. We'll see get pods. Could see a server is getting created. I'm wondering where did I make mistakes because it's creating three somewhere I would have specified the number of pods or replica set. Anyway, so we can edit that later, so let's not change anything. I'm just revisiting where did I see. This is a place where I mentioned the replica count 3, so it's okay. I should have reduced it to 1. Let's see. Okay, its image is getting pulled. Let's wait for it to complete. Okay, so if you look at it, you are seeing a problem here. The operation dashboard requires some secrets to be created. As a part of the process, you should have sent the request to operational dashboard. I'm logging on to operational dashboard. I just launched the operational dashboard from the dashboard. So if you go to the manage, there'll be a request waiting. The moment you say approve, it will pop up. Copy this content, come back to the command prompt and say paste it. Now the required secret is created. As you get parts, now it will slowly getting into a running state. So let's wait for everything to come up. Good. So everything is coming up now. So you can close this because it's already done. And let us go back to platform. And check. Is there any issues? And refresh the AceDashboard. Sometime it is timing out, so let's wait for it. Okay, so we have the AceDemo up and running. We can take a look at it. It has been deployed successfully. How do we access the next thing is how do we access the message flows that is deployed inside the container. Go back to IBM ICP console, workloads, Helm releases. If you know the Helm release, search for it. So AceDemo is the Helm release. If you scroll down, you can see the service, the node port. 7800 is the unsecured port. 31843 is the port we are supposed to use for hitting the service. Or we can copy this and put it in the command line. It will give you the port. So this will be your host and the port for you to invoke your HTTP service. Let me copy this. Let me open up one simple REST client. I'll copy the URL that I've used and get customer. I'm just going to issue the REST. Okay, so the document is not found. Sorry, it's a get, not a gut. My bad. Okay, so no message is found in the queue. So if there shouldn't be any message. Let's put some message. Post the message and change the URL. Let me put some message. Say send. So has got some scramble, but at least the message input in the input message is sent MQ. So maybe this is something to do with some infrastructure related problem that I'll fix it later. But I can send the message. I can preview by ignoring the above information. So this is the response that we are getting. And let me go on get the one that I will report. Say you'll see this message. So with this we can use we can get the message and put the message, and we have created integration server in a client mode, and we made use of a separate MQ server, not inside the integration server. I would want to check whether this operation dashboard works or not. Let me open it. Sometime if the server is too busy, it doesn't come up. Let's wait for it to come. So I've opened the operation dashboard. Just it's the first time I'm looking into it. So top span counts by integration server, message flow. I'm not sure whether we have a drill down or not. Just an overview. Investigate. Yes, we can see the operations that has happened. So if you look at it, there are services in a specific trace. These two services has been used. Shows demo integration operation name, message flow transaction, and inside the message flow transaction it will also have the reference ID and the reference trace ID and the reference span ID. I'm yet to figure out, because it's the first time I've set it up and using it. Maybe in the future videos I'll be able to explain in details, but the way you populate the operation dashboard by following the steps that I've been following, you get to see the components that is touched upon. Queue name, this is the queue where we are putting and getting. So operation that we have put, it's used. I'm just showing the screen. Please make a note, I'm not explaining it this particular piece. It will take some more time for me to come back and explain you in detail the detailed feature of the dashboard. So now we have seen how to collect that information into the operation dashboard from App Connect or API Connect and MQ. So with this, I would like to conclude this particular session. Thank you so much for watching.